question 4 for RPGaDAY 2016 is the most impressive thing another person's character did. Now, I've seen loads of great roleplay moments from people and great things that their characters have done. However, one that sticks out in mind is a memory from my Jadepunk campaign, the Skyless City, which ran quite some time ago, and there's links to the videos on my channel. The incident that sticks out in my mind is when Jenny Green, aka the RogueDM, was playing her character Kaiyu Yuuto, who was a person born into the highest ranks of noble society, but who had grown to have a sympathy for the Jianghu, these rebels who are fighting against the totalitarian establishment, and in doing so bought into this sympathy for the rebels by a young woman who she met on her farmstead, her noble estate, if you will. This character, Kaiyu Yuuto, was outcast from his family. This made it even more poignant when later on, after tracking down what appeared to be some sort of vampiric humanoid powered by an infusion of blue jade, it was discovered after a long process of investigation that the source, the patient zero, if you will, of this infection was that very self-same young woman who Kaiyu had believed to have been dead, who had brought Kaiyu into the fold of the Jianghu and had now been transformed into a monster with barely any original trace of her personality remaining. The player characters had set up an ambush for this master vampire and its spawn. There were explosives planted in the warehouse where they were under attack from. They were getting ready to light the fuse, blow that place sky high, and hopefully take out this nest of vampiric creatures. It was very poignant when, on the top of the warehouse, Kaiyu moved, having realised who the master vampire was, moved to face this figure and saw a brief glimmer of recognition, some shred of the personality of his old friend, who perhaps if they'd have had chance they would have become more, still lingering in the monster that he saw before him. As the explosive fuses were lit, buildings began to blow up around them. Kaiyu walked forward, embraced his friend, his once, if things had gone different, perhaps lover, held her close, seeing that brief glimmer of recognition, but knowing there was no way they could go back to their normal lives. And then the fire engulfing the two of them, Kaiyu and his friend both dying in that conflagration, that huge explosion, ending the vampire threat and bringing their lives and their relationship to a close. It was a very emotional scene, excellently played by Jenny. You could really see the emotion on her face. She's so into character, and this whole thing had been building for quite some time. It was a brilliant finale to the character of Kaiyu Yuuto and tied up that whole plot line nicely. It was one of my favourite scenes in a game that I've run. Excellently played by Jenny, and I feel it demonstrates the real emotion, the pathos you can get for your characters when you really immerse yourselves in them, when the GM brings the background that you have created to the fore, but presents it in a surprising way. It really can cause you to well up and bring out that emotion, that sense of connection with the character and NPCs within the setting. I really found it a memorable moment in that campaign, and it certainly stuck with me afterwards. So, there you are. There's the most impressive thing that certainly at the minute that sticks in my mind that another's character has done. Jenny Green's Kaiyu Yuuto embracing his vampiric friend, this person he'd once started to love, turn into a monster, and both of them achieving a sort of redemption and a closure in the fiery embrace of an exploding warehouse.